36 new colors, a beautiful new dragon tin. Everyone seems to be buying these, but do I really need it? To buy or not to buy? That is the ultimate question, isn't it? Before we dive into this review, it's important to say that I'm not sponsored by Black Widow pencils. I just use this brand a lot. Actually, if you scroll down the Amazon listings, that's all my art on the posters. I'm a fan of the brand, obviously. But what works for me may not work for you. And just because a brand is awesome, doesn't mean that you necessarily need to have their every single product. Let's examine colors, quality, packaging, and price, and see if the Black Widow Dragon set is right for you. Let's start with first impressions. When I opened this box for the first time, my immediate thought was, it's all orange and green. And actually, that's not that far off. But let's take a closer look. I made a color chart. I never make color charts. This is how much I love you guys. So here on the left, we have all the colors from the first tray in the box. Yellows and oranges turned out to be really great. I did my steampunk coloring with this, and they were more yellow and orange tones that I could possibly need, and all very vibrant and clean. These are great for steampunk, yellow metals, old paper, anything sunshiny, glow effects, flowers, and even skin tones. This section is a goldmine. Then we have this whole section of pink and magenta that's actually quite rich and flavorful. And they range nicely between pale pinks and deep magenta. Again, amazing, vibrant colors. Great for fabrics, hair, glow effects, flowers, makeup, toys, pastries, you name it. Now for the star of the show, red. Red was the most anticipated color in this box because it was completely missing from the previous set, the Monarch, and people were kind of pissed about it. But Albert Jones listens to his audience, and he always brings us what we ask for. We asked for red, so here it is. Here we have Shiraz, Bloodshot, and Evil Red, all very strong colors, all new colors. Quite impressive. There's pretty much nothing that you can't color with this combination of reds. Fruit, makeup, fabrics, glow effects, sunsets, sunrises, blood and gore, obviously, roses, dragons, whatever you want to paint red. So, first tray, mind blown. No complaints, all applause. Now the second tray is a different story. First impression, way too much green, not enough blue. I hate green pencils, and not just because it's a color that I don't enjoy working with, but because it's not an essential color like blue, red, and yellow. Green is a secondary color. You can create vibrant green effects if you have blues and yellows, but no matter what you do, you can't squeeze blue out of green, or anything else for that matter. I go in depth on this topic of colors, where they come from, how to mix them, and how to choose them for your project in my color theory course. Depending on when you're watching this, I may be running a live month-long color theory seminar or offering pre-recorded lessons. Check it out here, or wherever, and see when you can join. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 greens. That to me is a waste of space in a small set like this. A 36 pencil set will take care of you nicely, but on a grand scale, it is a small set. Every pencil slot is valuable here. Taking up 8 slots with a secondary color. I love Black Widow, but I gotta be honest with you guys, not thrilled about all the green. Now, if you're someone who colors a lot of leafy things, a lot of gardens and flowers and nature in general, as well as green dragons, snakes, frogs, even green gemstones and crystals, you're in heaven. In that case, there's no need to build up your greens with blue and yellow, just go crazy with the gorgeous pencils provided. But me, I do mostly portraits. I will probably never touch this entire section of the box, unless I'm specifically doing a green demo. As far as blue, we have only one true blue, and it's a light one at that. The others are a dark gunmetal blue, which is pretty much gray, and a periwinkle blue. Blue tongue is not even blue at all, it's just lavender, so that one doesn't count. What's missing here is a nice solid dark blue, like a classic French ultramarine. So what can we use these blues for? Still quite a bit actually. The blues that are provided here are great for skin tones. Also, flowers, fabrics, gray metals, fish scales, water, the sky. So we do have options. We just can't go really dark blue or really bright blue. Cobblestone gray is just a plain old 50% gray. There's nothing special about it that screams Black Widow. I would take that out entirely and replace it with something essential. Like blue. Browns. We made it through the green nightmare. I can breathe again. The browns are all new colors and range beautifully from a soft golden ochre through two gorgeous mid-tone browns to an amazing new color called Dungeon. Dungeon is a super cool pencil. It's dark and gloomy and rich, and it's so much fun to add it to dark shadows for really strong contrast, but also with body. Great color. These browns, in combination with the feeble blues and the amazing yellows and pinks, will take care of all your skin tone coloring needs. Additionally, these browns can be great for fabrics, leather, fur, and of course hair. And for the cherry on top, to help me get over my green meltdown, there's an entirely new color called Cardboard. It looks like the very first Black Widow metallic. At first glance, I thought it was gold or brass, but when I tried it on paper, it was way cooler than that. This may actually be my new favorite Black Widow pencil. It's not at all metallic, which is great because those are usually pretty disappointing anyway. It's actually a very strong and a very complex color. I don't think the word cardboard does it justice though. That's my only beef with it. Cardboard is plain and boring, and this color is anything but. I used it quite a lot on my Gal Gadot drawing, and I was so pleased with the results. White and black are not at all present in this set. No, white isn't actually a big deal for me because I never even use white pencils. I use white charcoal. And a lot of you guys color on white paper and don't use white pencils because of that, so I don't think you'll miss it either. But black missing? At first I thought it wasn't a big deal, but having done this portrait drawing, I had to actually dive into the skin tone sets to get the midnight black. Black would have been nice in the dragon set. However, how many of you out there are colorists and don't have a black pencil? Probably none of you. So we all have black anyway. Overall, we have a set that has 3 very strong sections: yellow, green, and red. I personally would have liked to see it as yellow, red, and blue. That would have been perfection. For me, you may like the green. The important thing here is that all the colors are beautiful, strong, clean, most of them are new colors, and each can be used to its full potential and its max vibrance, or used very gentle to create pastel tones. So it's a very versatile set. Let's talk about quality now. I fell in love with Black Widows from the moment I tried my very first set. In fact, I switched to using Black Widows for most of the courses that I teach on Udemy and in my private community. These are wax pencils, but they're not greasy. They don't break or crack or splinter. They sharpen well both with handheld and electric sharpeners. They mix well with other brands. And of course, the most important thing is they work beautifully on paper. My coloring method is all about layering. And the main reason that I work with widows so much is that they layer beautifully without flaking or doing anything else weird to the paper. I also like that the colors work equally great on white, gray, and tan paper. And I feel like generally these pencils last a long time. I produce an ungodly amount of drawing and coloring. It's my job. And at this point, I work almost exclusively with Black Widow pencils. So they get a lot of use in this studio. And I still have pencils from my very first sets that I got 2 years ago. This set feels and looks and performs as beautifully as the rest. The quality of this brand is why I got hooked on it. This was probably the most anticipated Black Widow set ever. So much tension and drama was built up about what the new cover is going to be, what the new pencil names will be, and it did not disappoint. I don't think we'll ever see the original white tins again. The new way seems to be the black tin with a thin gold frame and animal. We now have the monarch and the dragon done in the same format. But whether you like white tins or black tins, creepy crawly critters or majestic beasts, you can't deny that a lot of work and care and love goes into the design and creation of these sets. As far as the pencils themselves go, we asked for color sample tips and Albert delivered. Since the skin tone sets, all Black Widow pencils have their color sample ands, which make it very easy to see what color you're grabbing. And we still get to keep the signature Black Widow black wood, so everyone wins. And of course, the names. This brand became a huge hit right away, mainly because of the unusual and funny pencil names. The Dragon set is no exception. In fact, this is the first set that's completely themed. When I work with it, every time that I grab a new color and read the name, I feel like I'm actually roaming this magical dark fantasy land of dungeons and dragons and maidens. It's a wonderful universe that Albert has created for us. Now here's a touchy subject. For me, this is a steal. When I saw that this set is listed on Amazon for less than $30, which is apparently what I expected it to cost, I was like, what? It's practically free. 36 professional grade pencils, beautifully presented, clearly designed with love and care for only $18. That's 50 cents per pencil and nothing for the box. That's a bargain. Now, I know a lot of you commented on my last Black Widow video saying things like, it's not cheap for me because I ended up paying $30-something to have it shipped to Canada or South Africa or Iceland, and I totally get that. When I lived in Chile, everything that I ordered from Amazon cost me at least 3 times the price of the item and took several months to arrive. So that obviously affected my shopping decisions. But I'm not talking about shipping costs here. I'm evaluating only the price that was put on the product. The product itself is very reasonably priced, underpriced in my opinion. But shipping is obviously something you can't avoid paying for, so do take it into your calculations. The question now becomes not is the Dragon set too expensive, but is the Dragon set too expensive to be delivered to me? And that's a valid question. Does it make sense to pay twice the price of the product or even more to get it delivered to you? Maybe, or maybe not. I'm curious to hear from you. Where on the planet are you located? Are Black Widows available on Amazon wherever you live? Or is it even possible to get them to you? And if it is, how much will it set you back? Let me know in the comments. So, we looked at colors, quality, presentation, and price. The colors are very strong and beautiful, but make up a somewhat unusual palette. Yellow, red, and green with some filler colors. For me, it's not the perfect palette, but it's interesting enough. Can this set cover all of your coloring needs forever? Absolutely not. You need a wider range of browns and blues, and you need white and black. Does this set offer colors never before seen in other sets? Yes. Yes, it does. Is it worth getting it just for that? I think so. I think the new colors are delicious enough for you to give them a shot, especially if you already have some or all of the other Black Widow sets. Is it a good first Black Widow set? I'm gonna say no. If you don't have any Widows, I don't think that this set by itself is a good enough representation of the whole brand. If you don't have any Widows at all, I would recommend getting this set together with the skin tone sets, or this set together with the Monarch set. But in my opinion, there is no one Black Widow box that will cover all of your needs. The best way to use this brand is to mix and match sets. Will this set make a good gift? Yes, absolutely. It will make an excellent gift for any colorist. It's a curiosity and it's a joy to work with. Is this set worth the money? Depending on where you live. In the States, the shipping costs are very reasonable and the product itself is super affordable. But like we talked about, in your part of the world, getting them may be tricky and pricey, so do your research. Me, when I run out of the Dragon pencils that I'm using right now, which were kindly sent to me by Albert Jones, I'll be buying several new sets. I believe in this brand so much and I'm so impressed with the quality that as an influencer, I officially recommend Black Widows in my Amazon storefront. I hope I've given you enough information about the Black Widow Dragon set to decide if it's something that you want to buy. If you want to see more of it in action, I'll put links to my Dragon colorings in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more fun videos from me. Give this one the thumbs up if it was helpful. If it wasn't, give it the thumbs down twice. That's the only way that it works. I love you guys. Happy coloring and happy holidays. Bye.